Hello, my friends. Let's see if this is a fun video format for you guys of just having me in the corner, because I do a lot of these digital painting videos and I never have a face to my voiceover. Let me know how you feel about it. Exciting news. My Japan trip closes August 19th. So there are still 6 spots left and you can join me in Japan in October if you'd like to. It will be linked down into the description. It's going to be such an amazing time. We're going to Kyoto, Nara, and Osaka, and so we're going to be seeing a lot of beautiful historic areas, so many shrines. We're going to go to the deer park and I'm so excited for it. I've been planning all my outfits. It's going to be linked down in the description. It's going to be an amazing time. Please join if you want to. The bookings close real soon, so get in while you can. I'm not gonna be doing a trip to Japan again anytime soon. This is gonna be the perfect opportunity to go on a trip with an art-focused group and to have a guide, a local guide. It's gonna be amazing. Okay, if you're noticing, I don't have glasses on and I'm also not blind right now. This is the first time I've ever had contacts, second day on them. It's absolutely crazy. It feels like I'm part of new tech, or like I just got an Apple Watch or something. I don't know. I feel like everybody's been gatekeeping contacts for me, but that's not the case. Today's video is going to be fun. I'm painting Barbie. I want to talk a bit about my experience watching Barbie and just my thoughts on the movie from a very interesting, maybe unique perspective. I did not have one Barbie growing up. I wasn't allowed to have Barbies, and if you grew up in a very conservative household, the parts of the movie where it talks about the over-sexualization of Barbie is what I experienced my family telling me. I was never allowed to have a Barbie because it was like a provocative woman. Which is so funny to think about because it's literally just a doll. My parents made me watch this movie about how the Barbie is this like degradation of society from like the good values of what like the 1920s when women were not allowed to vote. Okay. Going into the movie, I didn't have any like nostalgic emotions related to owning a Barbie, and I had always wanted a Barbie when I was a kid, obviously because I was a little girl. I guess not all little girls want Barbies, but I was told I wasn't allowed to have one, so I think that made me want one. So it was the forbidden fruit and everybody else had a Barbie and I did not. So watching the movie, I was so excited going into it because of the director, obviously, Greta Gerwig. I love Greta Gerwig. Greta Gerwig made Lady Bird, which is one of the movies that I really, really resonate with growing up with kind of a more difficult relationship with your parents. And now Lady Bird isn't completely indicative of how I grew up. You know, I'm not relating to every single little thing in the movie, but I think just the vibe and Saoirse Ronan's character, the way that she played Lady Bird, I love that movie. I also love The New Little Women. It's so good. It's so fantastic. I cry so hard every time I watch it. So I was really excited for Greta Gerwig to create this movie. And going into the movie, I heard that it was going to be different than what people expected. And I think maybe in that sense, I had higher expectations because it was exactly what I expected that it would be. However, I was expecting a Greta Gerwig production and also something feminist. And I was told that there was like a lot of hints at Barbie being queer. So I was expecting all of those things. So the movie was not necessarily like groundbreaking to me in that respect. Full disclosure, I loved the movie. I would give it a 9 out of 10. And I want to tell you why I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10. I feel like 9 out of 10 is so high. People are going to be like, you're easy to please. There was something, and this is maybe going to be interesting, maybe an interesting perspective, or maybe other people have been talking about it, but I haven't seen it on my corner of the internet. And so there was something that I was actually a little bit put off by in the movie. Coming from a feminist, liberal, relatively socialist, girly pop me, my concerns with the movie were nothing to do with what like the alpha males were concerned with. But I cried 2 times watching the movie. I thought it was so good. I think Margot Robbie is so stunning and she did such a great job, especially since her roles have been over-sexualized and male-gazy. It was so cool to see her kind of reclaim her femininity and sexuality in this movie that is all about female empowerment versus the real world where the patriarchy reigns. I thought that was really cool, and she is such a beautiful and good actor. I love to see her on screen. Lovely lady for my eyes. And I think all the casting was so great. Weird Barbie was such a wonderful representation of what it feels like to just sort of be a little bit of an outsider, or not like the prettiest girl around, or to be queer in today's society, all of those things. I really resonated with Weird Barbie as well, because she's just so much more quote unquote normal. I'm not like other girls way, but just that a lot of us aren't stereotypical Barbie, right? I loved Ryan Gosling. I think he was such a good supporting character. He's so cute. Not as Ken, but as Ryan Gosling. And he did such a good job supporting Margot Robbie in this movie. I absolutely loved it. The performances were fantastic. I thought it was so funny. I'm not the biggest fan of just musicals in general, but I think the fact that they just broke out in song and dance at certain points was really funny, kind of absurd. It was very much like when I was a kid and playing with toys, not Barbies because I wasn't allowed to. Oops. When I was a kid playing with toys, the way that they all act and react and move is exactly like how a child would play with a toy, like kind of absurdist, you know? So I think in that sense, the movie was spectacular. I think I'm going to sandwich my criticism into the things I really liked. I'm going to say what I didn't like, and then I'm going to go back to saying what I did like about the movie. There were a couple of things I didn't like about the movie, which I want to share. The first is Will Ferrell's character. I love him so much, and he did a really good job, but I just think that the CEO of Mattel bit was kind of uncalled for. And to explain, it seems that I think having the self-awareness to discuss that the CEO and higher-ups at Mattel are all men is a very odd choice, because the CEO of Mattel is a man. And poking fun at this topic seemed to me like a way to almost appease like social justice warriors, or like people that don't think too deeply about social justice issues but like to have an opinion. It almost felt like we could all laugh at this bit in the movie, and then that would be our action and our act of performative justice, laughing at the fact that men do still control Mattel. We can laugh at it and move on and never think about it again because the movie is self-aware. That was something that kind of bothered me a little bit about it, because there is no change. At the end of the day, a lot of men are profiting off of this movie, and to be clear, I'm very much not anti-man, but I think that the concept of let's laugh at the stupid male CEOs in the real world, when the reality of the situation is that men do still control Mattel, I thought that was an odd thing to add to the movie. And I think maybe the grace I can give it is that Greta Gerwig can't control who the CEO of Mattel is, and it's possible that she didn't write that part in, or, because it was co-created with Mattel, they wanted to put in the self-awareness. Maybe that wasn't her part of the story to tell. But I was talking to one of my friends, and she was saying too, like, if we just completely took out the CEO, there would still have been conflict, and there would still have been a good movie. Will Ferrell's character was very much not necessary or needed. I mean, I guess he was silly, but like, he was the main antagonist, but he really didn't do much, He didn't create much of the conflict. I was just a little bit bothered by that, because it's okay to accept that that's the way things are. Like, the movie can't change the CEO, but it seemed a little like grody, or like it was pandering to people that let everybody know their opinions, are social justice oriented, but don't actually have any actionable change in the world. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being too critical of this. You can let me know, but that kind of was weird to me. Another part that was odd to me was the ending was not exactly what I expected. Spoilers, obviously. I think the fact that Barbie's regain control at the end in Barbie Land, and Ken's really given a diminutive role just to appease them, was, in my opinion, the wrong type of feminism. And maybe I'm just misinformed and uneducated. I'm always trying to learn. But to me, it felt like the real nice, probably happy utopian ending would be that men and women, the Kens and the Barbies, would come together in ways that complemented each other and were pretty much equal. Because the Ken struggle was very real in the movie. I think that Ken's character was written very much so, and like, you could even say women have felt this way historically in American history, like not taken seriously and being supportive characters. So the fact that Ken was written in this way was very interesting, because it was just let's say the roles were reversed and men were treated the way that women have been treated historically. I think that real feminism isn't, obviously about women being better than men or women getting more opportunities or favored status or anything. I think any feminist would agree with this, is that men and women have equal opportunities, equal rights, are treated with equal respect. And so I was expecting it to end with them like doing 50-50 or 60-40, Barbie's doing 60, Ken doing 40. They poked fun at the fact that the Kens won't have much power, and to me that was kind of a weird bit, because it's like, what if a man made that joke about a woman? It didn't seem necessarily appropriate. Now, I also understand like feminine rage, or it's always been that women get the short end of the stick. So if we're gonna make a movie for the girlies, that we can just poke fun at men a bit, and that's okay too. If we're gonna be like, everybody needs to watch Barbie because this is important on the female experience, I think treating the male experience in kind of a blasé way, or making fun of Kens at the end, might not be the nicest thing. At the end of the day, like, they're dolls, so maybe it's just like, because both the Kens and the Barbies are a little bit airheaded, like, it's kind of funny that the Kens want power. I don't know. I just still think that that ending was a little off. At the end of the day, it's Barbie land, but is that how it should be? You could also say that because men have so much power in the real world, it should still stay that way because they're doing a fine job. That would be the same reasoning as Barbie should stay in control because it's Barbie land. Again, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you think. Maybe I'm thinking about this in the wrong way. The last thing that is not necessarily like the Barbie movie, but just the effects of Barbie, is the absolute consumerism around Barbie and Barbie themed things, Barbie collabs, makeup, clothing, just buying Barbies in general, and seeing that grown women are also buying Barbies now because of the movie and because they're connecting with their inner child again. And I think the sentiment is great, but I think that the movie talks about the patriarchy and capitalism, and the fact that the movie is creating so much more needless and wanton consumerism is crazy. I think it's fun to enjoy Barbie themed things and, even get a Barbie if this is something that you have really been wanting to get back into and you missed and you would love to see Barbie up on your shelf. But if it's going to be something that you purchase and then it just collects dust and then you throw it out after a year because you bought it after you went to go see a movie in the heat of everything, I just don't think that's great consumerism. I think that it's extremely hard to be an ethical consumer all the time, obviously, and so many of us cannot actually afford to only purchase ethically made, sustainably made things. And I think the concept of fast fashion and being terrible for the environment, the part that is terrible is consumerism without really thinking things through, because things are cheap and easy to purchase. I think it's hard to live in a world where trend cycles move so quickly and things go on sale quickly, and things are also pretty cheap, pretty affordable. You can buy most anything in Target or Walmart or Forever 21 or H&M or Old Navy. Things are cheap and affordable. You can go out and buy cute things for a really small price. And so I think because of that, a lot of times we don't really think, do I need this thing? Will this thing hold up? Will I get enough use out of it? And so the Barbie movie having this effect that everybody went out to buy Barbies is super weird to me. Honestly, I think it's odd that, again, we're poking fun that the CEO of Mattel is a man, and we're watching this movie that is all about feminism, and so we're going out to buy more Barbies made of plastic that will give more money to this male CEO. Am I thinking of this wrong? It just seems like... So we laughed at the fact that the CEO of Mattel is rich because of Barbies, but we're going out to support this corporation that is run by a man, but the whole time we're making fun of the patriarchy. It just seems a little off. At the end of the day, Greta Gerwig can only do so much, and I absolutely love Lady Bird and Little Women. I think they are 10 out of 10. So the only thing I consume right now, having done absolutely no research, and this just being my own opinion, is the fact that because it was made with Mattel, there was additional writing input that was not specifically from Greta Gerwig. That is the only thing that I can be led to assume because I love her so much. I don't want to think anything bad of her. Let me know what your thoughts are. I have not purchased a Barbie or anything Barbie themed. I have created this artwork because I very much enjoyed the movie and had a good time. I think that there were so many parts of the movie that really spoke about the experience of being a woman. At the end of the day, let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are about my thoughts, because I've never made a video like this before, but I just thought it would be fun to talk a little bit about my experience watching the movie. My very favorite outfit in the movie was when Barbie originally goes to Weird Barbie's house and she has that navy outfit on. I think that was the cutest one in the whole movie. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed my commentary. Let me know what you thought. I don't know if I'm going crazy. I don't know if I'm thinking about this in the wrong way. So you let me know. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and let me know if you would like to see more of this style of video in the future. But until next time, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Subscribe. I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.